Hi guys, how are we doing today?
Good,
Yeah. We're excited for today's session.
Yeah.
Perfect. So just before we start, I have to make sure I verbally screen you all. Any of you encountering any injuries or illnesses at all?
No.
Yeah, perfect. So we can carry on to do that to make sure. So first we'll start off with the health and safety information. So first, the fire exit is over there, the women's facilities are there, men's facilities are over there, like toilets, water fountain, etc. Obviously, before we start at every station, we'll ensure that the machine or piece of equipment is in good use. Just to prevent the chance of injury. Once we finish using the machine or the piece of equipment, we always have to ensure that we've sanitised it as well, just to prevent the spread of infection, etc. Because that can delay you training if someone catches an illness like one else. And if you're not ill at all. And then when we're performing big compound movements, which I'll demonstrate later on, we have to ensure that we're using a belt and using straps if necessary, just to keep us in a safe position as possible. So I'll just go through the reason why I've been through this induction. So the purpose is, all of you have probably come to me today for the reason that you're not very confident in the gym and you don't know how to perform exercises correctly. Therefore, what I'm here to do as a gym instructor is to demonstrate to you the correct technique to give you more confidence to perform these activities. So we'll go through the structure. Before we jump in any main activities, we've always got to ensure that we've got to warm up. So what we're going to do is start off on the row machine. It's a great exercise to warm up the body. We'll then continue downstairs to the lat pull down over there, which is an example of a resistance machine. And then from then I'll show you the free weights where we're going to start off on the bench press down there and show you how to spot correctly. And then we'll move on to a deadlift, which is the biggest compound movement you can do. That's very important because if you can master that movement, and you can master any movement because it's like the biggest compound movement you can do. And then after that we'll perform some bodyweight exercise. So there's be on this mat here lying abdominal leg raise. I'll elaborate further later on. And then after that we will perform an alternative functional equipment, which is the medicine balls right there, just to perform a medicine ball squat. And after that, after we've exercised, it's important to cool down. So we'll just cool down on the treadmill over there. So perfect, so we can start. So if one of you wants to sit down here, and I'll start first and then, Okay, perfect. So here mate, here you have the resistance, okay? So the lower the resistance, the lighter the resistance. So the lower the number, the lighter the resistance and the easier it is. And if you want to train at a harder intensity, you can manipulate it by increasing it to a higher number and it'll feel a lot heavier when you're pulling it. But with this, we only want to be warming up, so we're going to be training at a low resistance. So what we're going to do is put your feet in here, mate. Make sure you get comfortable and it's hard.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, sit up, chest up, abdominals engaged, head looking forward, hold with a pronated grip. This is supinated, hold with a pronated grip so you're secure. So I'll go first. So what you're going to do is extend the legs, then pull at the arms, then extend the arms and then pull at the legs. Don't pull at the arms first because that's not the natural way to do it. You can injure yourself and we want to perform this movement properly. So it also creates more propulsion, more force if you push first. Yeah. So if you want to go with me, if you want to synchronise. So extend the legs and then bend at the arms like that. And then extend at the arms, then bend the legs. So extend the legs, bend the arms, extend the arms, bend the legs. So we go a bit faster, extend the legs, bend the arms, bend the arms, bend the legs. And you just end up subconsciously doing it yourself. But here, as you can see on the resistance, we're working at a low number because we only want to be working at low intensity to gradually increase the heart rate up and increase the range of motion of the joints to prevent the chance of injury.
Yeah.
Can you all see that? Sorry if you all come closer. Yeah. So just like so. So extend the legs, bend the arms, extend the arms, bend the legs. Perfect. And now you can let go, Robbie, if you want. So obviously, we've only got about 30 minutes, so I don't want all of you to perform the movements to be here all day. But the benefit of doing that, increasing the heart rate, is to stimulate blood flow to the muscles, which will stimulate oxygen transport to the muscles, enhance your performance. So, perfect. So now we can move on. Just before we move on, always make sure that we spray down the equipment to spread the chance of bacteria spreading. So just wipe it down like so. It's also very important, a lot of people forget, but. And then, do one of you want to have a go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect, Callum.
Easy.
Yeah. Perfect. So you're going to carry that and we'll all go downstairs. So now that our body's warmed up, we're ready to start the main activity. We've got a heart rate, we'll increase the range of motion of the joint. So what we can do is go downstairs and we'll start off on a lot of cooldown. So it's basically just a resistance machine. You're a lot less vulnerable to injuring yourself because it's a resistance machine. So you're kind of relying on the motion of the weight. So what you want to do is start off hands shoulder width apart, not too narrow, not too wide, but shoulder width apart. Obviously, we're going to start on a very light weight. See, someone's left it on a heavy weight there as well. That's important for gym etiquette. The important gym etiquette is not to leave a weight on the heavy start, because if someone tries to, attempt the weight, they could injure themselves. So start on a light weight. So just hands shoulder width apart. So what you want to do is just, instead of just pulling down, you want to kind of retract your scapula like so, and then kind of pull down towards your chin. So basically, let's go through it again. Step 1, hands on the bar. Step 2, sit down. Step 3, pull your shoulder blades back as tight as you can. That's retracting your scapula, and then just pull down. So just like that. And don't be swinging like momentum. You see so many people swinging like that, and that's just you're not benefiting from the exercise at all. Not really into yourself, but obviously you're not benefiting from the exercise. So you're going to be as strict as possible. So next, who wants to go next for the?
I'll go.
Yeah, perfect. So let's go through it again. So hands shoulder width apart. Pull your shoulder blades as tight as you can. Perfect. So that's starting position, and then pull it down towards your chin. Perfect. And then slowing the way up. And back all the way down again. Try and use the least amount of momentum as you can. No swing. Perfect. And just like so. Can everyone see that? Is everyone?
Yeah.
Has anyone got any questions or anything?
No. So far.
No? Yeah. It's a very simple movement. We're starting off with the easiest movements anyway. So that's perfect, Callum. That's perfect.
He's enjoying it.
So yeah, he's enjoying it that much. You can see he's enjoying it that much, but you don't want to stop. So does anyone else who's not wiped it down want to have a go?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's always better instead of spraying it, because you could say if you've got someone facing it, you could spray them in the eye, and that's not very good at all. So always spray on the cloth first, and then wipe down. Yeah. So perfect. You can just have a go there. Yeah, great. And the seat as well?
Yeah.
Is everyone alright with that? Yeah. So next we move on to a freeway exercise, which is a lot more challenging. Sorry, just before we move on, the benefit of this exercise is basically to stimulate muscle growth of your back. You've got your latimus dorsi. Just quickly, sorry. You've got your latimus dorsi, can I just turn around? You've got your latimus dorsi here, trapezius, which runs all the way down to your back, and you've got your rhomboids here, kind of in there, upper back. So that movement basically trains all them muscles. So yeah, now we can move on to the free weight. We'll move on to the bench press. Perfect, yeah. So with this one, it's a similar movement to that one. It's a free weight. So what we're going to do is get into the bench, get comfortable, hands shoulder width apart, and as you let go, retract your scapula again, and then all the way down to your chest, and and then push up. So like, you see a lot of people go like this, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really getting full engagement on your chest. So I'm just going to start again. So start here, get into it, and the shoulder width apart, retract your scapula, like pull your shoulder blades back, and then all the way down to the bottom of your chest. So not that to your neck, that can be dangerous. That's the bottom of your chest, and then push up. So slow on the way down, and then push up. So who wants to have a go on the bench press? Yeah, perfect. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you how to spot someone. So we don't need to choose any weight because obviously this is just an induction. So hands shoulder width apart. Yeah. Yep. Kind of arch your back when you're on the bench to like pull your shoulder blades back. Yep. Like so, and then instead of you lifting it off, because when you've got heavy weight, you're quite vulnerable there. What I'll do, we always get a spotter to lift the weight off for you. Yep. So from that starting position, then if you want to go with the weight down to the bottom of your chest, and then push up, and then lower down, and then push up, and perfect. And once you reach fatigue, it's always really important to have a spotter because then you've got someone, say if you're struggling to lift the weight up, then luckily you've got someone behind to then pull the weight off, and then re-rack it. So never bench press heavy, especially without a spotter, because probably land back on your head, and that's not great, is it? No. So perfect. So now, what do we have to do before we leave?
Clean it.
Clean it, exactly. Yeah. You want to clean it now since you said it? Yeah. I know we all don't really like cleaning, but it's got to be done. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions in terms of the bench press?
No, it's all clear. No.
Yeah, all clear, yeah. Took it all on board.
Why is it important to arch your back a bit?
Oh yeah, just to kind of retract your scapula. So what that will do is it's kind of like engage your chest more. Because if you're like more protracted, you're going to target more of your front deltoid of your chest. This movement also, the benefit of this movement is to target your chest, your shoulders and your tricep as well. Yeah. So the more like kind of your scapula's retracted, the more chest engagement. And if you're more protracted, you get more shoulder engagement. A lot of people get shoulder injuries as well because they're too protracted. There's too much pressure on their shoulder joint. So if you retract it, you prevent shoulder injuries as well. Yeah. So that's very important. So now we've wiped that down, we can move on to the deadlift. Yeah, which is like the hardest compound movement you can do. So feel free, if you've got any questions, please ask them. Yeah, sorry, probably should. So just down here. So yeah. Jesus Christ. We'll just get this bar over there. Yeah. It's important when we've got a dark bar as well, not just one person to carry it over. So if it's hit you, Robbie, what we'll do is bring the bar over to the station. This is another thing as well. Our bar should be here. Obviously, someone's left it in the wrong area, and that's obviously always make sure you tie your weights away back to where they're supposed to be. So there should be a bar there, but it's no bar. We will get this bar. So I'll hold it from this side, you hold it from this side. Yep. Perfect. Got it, and then I'll guide you. We'll just move forward. Perfect. And then just down this way. And then just on here, yeah. Yep. Yeah, perfect. So what we'll do, I'll just add a plate on this because it'd be easier. We'll just add a 5 kilo one. So if someone wants to get 5 kilo from the other side, like Robbie. Yeah. It's always important when you've got a freeway, it's always important to put clips on at the ends of the bar as well, because otherwise your bar so the weight can slide off whilst you're lifting the weight. And obviously if it slides off, especially in a movement like this, you could injure yourself. So what we're going to do is just clip Got on. Perfect. So this move, yeah. So this movement, you can target your back. So you can target, like I said, like the lats, the trapezius, the rhomboids. If you turn around, Callum, sorry. There's also the erector spinae at the bottom, which it targets, which that movement doesn't. Also, like your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quads as well. So it's like a full compound movement, full body movement, and even part of your arms and your shoulders as well. So what I want to do, I just demonstrate how to show the set of equipment.
I'll take that off.
Yeah.
If I can get my jacket off.
Yeah. It's okay, take your time. yeah. So what we're going to do is get it, obviously, you know you've got it right around when that's facing, it's not upside down. So what you're going to do is put it wrap around your waist quite as tight as possible. As you can see, just feed it through a hole. Feed it through a hole there, and then feed it through there. So that'll just help keep your back, prevent your back from arching too much. Because this is with this freeway exercise, you're really highly exposed to injury compared to like a resistance machine, like I said. So with these straps, it just helps to keep the weight in your hand, because obviously you're pulling it from the floor. So what you do is you put it on your wrist, and then you pull it to tighten it. Have you used these before?
I've used those before.
Yeah, I used it before, yeah. Have you used these before?
No.
Yeah, no, perfect. So you just
I don't
pull
think
it
I've
on.
used them correctly before.
Yeah. So obviously make sure that the rope's like inwards like that. So what you want to do, you want to get to the bar. You want to have a pronated grip. So can you see from here, sorry?
Yeah.
So just wrap it around the weight like so it's nice and secure. Just like so. So, and like kind of like bend your wrist like back so it's nice and tight. Like that. So what you want to do, you want to kind of like flex your knees and your hips, so you're like in a squat position. So don't ever pull up from this way. You see people just pull up like that. And that's, you're just going to obviously like pull a nerve in your back, pull a muscle in your back. So you always want to start off like flexing your knee and your hip like that. Like you squat like at the bottom of a squat movement. And then just drive through your heels. And then just pull up like that and extend your knees and your hip. And as people go down, they just drop it like that, and you're just gonna, like I said, pull your hamstring or your back. So what you're gonna do is just squat back into it, like that. So just do a few ones. So start off, knees flexed on your hip flexed, and then extend your knee and your hip and drive out, and then squat back into it. So basically, so flex knees and hip, extend knee and hip, flex knee and hip, extend knee and hip, flex knee and hip, and that's basically it. So, Sophie, and have a go. Has anyone got any questions at all?
At what point in your back does it need to go?
Just round your waist. Yeah. Just have it like tight, but not too tight. You don't want to suffocate. So just feed it through the holes.
Is that too loose? So is that
Does it feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. And then just feed it through there. So have that on your left wrist. There we go. And then kind of pull it so it's tight on your wrist. Yeah. And then that way on your upper wrist. There we go, we got it.
Yeah.
Perfect, take your time.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do, you're going to go...
Pronated, so...
Yeah, it's a pronated, so both like that. So before you get into it, so wrap it around the bar.
Other way around, should that be that way? Or?
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
So wrap it right around, like usually like twice. There we go, and then try and hold it in your hand like so.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the same with the other hand. It's usually harder to do it the second hand when you've already got your hand strapped, but over that time, you know, over that practice, you get better at it. There you go. There we go, perfect. So we're nice and secure.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is, so kind of like squat into it, like so, yeah, and then just drive through your heels, and then extend your knee and your hip. perfect, like that, that's perfect. Then, ooh, squat on the way down, sorry.
Yeah.
so like this, so knee flex and hip, extend knee and hip.
Okay.
So like squat
Wait.
into it,
Yeah.
and then drive for your heels, perfect. And then squat back down into it, like that, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And then back up, and then kind of squat back into it. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You can do a few reps if you want, get comfortable. Perfect. Whereabouts can you feel it?
My glutes?
Yeah, glutes perfect, yeah. Whereabouts, just about everywhere in your legs as well and back, or?
Yeah.
Obviously when you got more weight.
Upper back more.
Yeah. That's great form. You picked up fairly quick. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. Be here all day. It's just like Callum would be here all day. So this is important, like with the free weight, like I said at the start, a bar should have been here. So it's not put the bar back properly. So what you're going to do is obviously take the weight off. So have you got any questions, Robbie?
No, not so far, no.
Perfect, so want to put the weights back, and then there should be a bar here, but the bar was over there before, so we'll just put the bar back. So Robbie or Callum, if you put the weight back up, and then we'll move it back over there. Nice. About 3/4 of the way through now, so sorry, Cal, and then just and it's back up to the top. Perfect. So, Robbie, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
You've been fairly quiet. Yeah. What do I have to do now before I leave? So we've tidied the weights away. What do we have to do?
Clean down the equipment.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll wipe down the weight. Yeah, and then I'll wipe down this, and then Robbie, you can wipe down the bar if you want.
Yeah.
Perfect, mate. So just wipe down the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we got everything? Yeah. That's all clean. So now we'll move on to body weight exercise. It's up here. Perfect. So we've done a lot of compound movements. Now, a lot of the movements, when you train with when you've got that proper weight on, you train like either strength, which is like more than 85% of your one rep max, or muscle hypertrophy, which is between 67 to 85% of your one rep max. Now, an exercise like this, the next two exercises are more to train muscular endurance, so it's like more reps, anything below 67%, ranging between like 12 to 20 reps. So what we're going to do, if one of you just want to lay down here, Callum? Yeah, perfect. Just lay down in there, mate. So what we're going to do is, right, show your back straight and your hands next to you. Yeah. Keep your knees fully extended, right, and then just flex your hip towards like your torso. Perfect. And then stay on the way down. So like so. Yeah, perfect. We'll do one more. Yeah, so you seem quite advanced there, but yeah, some people struggle. They've got weak core strength. So well done. So what adjustments you can make if you struggle is instead just bend your knees, right? So you don't struggle, but other individuals do. Bend your knees and then just like so. So flex your hip towards your torso, like that. Okay, perfect. So what that exercise does, it also trains your Bouncy Coordination. So your balance is all right, but some people can be, you know, all over the place. So yeah, that's a great exercise for balance and coordination as well as muscular endurance, and that will train your obliques and your abdominals. Has anyone got any questions? No, perfect. So now we use alternative functional equipment, and yet again this will, this will train muscular endurance. Okay, so like high reps yet again, and this will also train your your Bouncy Coordination. So what we're going to do is stand feet shoulder width apart, squat down like you did in a deadlift, yeah, and then drive your heels like you did in a deadlift as well. But what you're going to do is just throw it up and down. What we're going to do, so knees flexed, hip flexed, drive for your heels, extend your hip and your knee, and push it up and then catch it. So just do it a bit quicker, like so. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So a lot of people when they throw it, they can't even catch it because the balance coordination is that bad. But over time, there's a practice this movement, and a simple movement like this will help you in a big compound movement like the deadlift, believe it or not, because it will challenge your balance, it will challenge your coordination. So, does anyone want to have a go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Since you did do the deadlift,
Yeah.
so it'd be beneficial. So, perfect. Yeah. Do 5 reps, so 3, 4, 5, perfect. And she's still going. We've been here all night. Perfect, so that's a great way for burning calories. A common misconception is that people only associate like cardio with burning calories, when really exercises like muscular endurance are also really good for burning body fat as well. So to take that on board. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
No?
No.
Perfect. So now we'll move on to a cool down, but what we're going to do before we move on?
One down.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Full points to Sophie. Okay. Perfect. So, if we were training properly, our body would be full of lactic acid right now, from that anaerobic activity, like training resistance training and stuff. So now what we're going to do is cool the body down.
Yeah.
So to cool the body down, the benefits of cooling the body down are to alleviate delayed onset muscle soreness. Have you ever felt sore from after a training session?
Oh yeah.
That's when the lactic acid is accumulated in your muscles and you've not cooled down properly to, something called cardio flush, where it stimulates blood flow. You stimulate blood flow to the muscle to get rid of the lactic acid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So perfect. So we'll move on to the treadmill. We do on to this one really. So I want you to demonstrate this. If anyone wants to, I can demonstrate as we go because it's a very simple movement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Callum, if you want to stand on, and then just press start for me. Okay. So just increase the speed there, like so. If you just press the plus button to about, keep increasing it to about 2. Nothing. We don't want to go too quick because, again, we're not working it on cardiovascular endurance. We're just want to cool the body down, so make it low intensity. Okay. Slightly increase the incline there, Callum. There we go. That's perfect. Yeah. So, as you look here, you can see how many calories you're burning. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it tells you your pace. It tells you your heart rate. Your heart rate should slow down.
Yeah.
So that means you're returning your body to a non-exercising state. Okay. So as you can see there, distantly, your heart rate, it should slowly decrease. And what you'll be doing there is alleviate the delayed onset muscle soreness, so increase recovery. You'll be as sore the next day. You won't feel like you've been hit by a bus. Perfect. And just to demonstrate it properly, you keep your head forward, and using momentum with your arms, and perfect. That's perfect form. Another thing as well is something called oxygen debt. So your body, your muscles are deficient in oxygen after working out. So what he's doing there is he's breathing very steadily, and he's just transporting oxygen to his muscles, to regain that oxygen what you lost during the weight training. So perfect, Callum. We can just press stop now. Yeah. Right, so you say to first, what do we have to do before we finish?
Wipe it down.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, too slow, Robbie.
Where's
Too
the
slow. Yeah, wrong colour, it's clean. The perfect, wipe it down. Yeah, clean. I'm saying it now. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. That's great. So, what did you think of the session? Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
very
fun.
informative. Yeah, feel a bit more confident now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you got any specific questions you want to ask? Because if you are, ask now. If you're not sure on anything.
If you were doing deadlifts, would you do them first or does it?
Oh yeah, Purple. Make sure you warm up first. We're going into your main activity. Always start with the main compound movement, which requires the most energy. So that will be a deadlift.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you're doing two exercises first, which target the same muscles, and then go to deadlift, you're going to be fatigued.
Yeah.
So always, the movements which require the most energy, always start with them first, always prioritise them. And then the movements like a lat pull down, for example. I know I showed you the lat pull down first, but you can start off with the deadlift, and then the lat pull down after, if that makes sense. So you got the main compound moving out of the way.
Would you like just do like a top weight and just do that the whole time you're doing your sets, or do like lighter weight and then heavier and then heavier?
Slowly, it's called incremental routine, so slowly increase the weight gradually.
Yeah.
So you reach the working set. Sorry, yeah, that's another thing as well. That's a great question. Because I had so many things to think about when that's a good question, that's why I asked you.
Yeah.
When you go to an exercise, a main compound movement, always start with a light weight, then slowly increase to a slightly heavier weight, and then slightly heavier weight until you reach your maximum set. Yeah. So even though we warmed up on the row machines, technically you still have to warm up in the weights incrementally to the weight you want to lift.
Yeah.
To prevent injury. Yeah. Great question. Alan or Robbie?
You still train if you have an injury? Or?
No, you're not trained, you've got an
Just,
injury.
just-
Even if it's a minor injury, you got to listen to your body, you got to rest, because you're only going to make it worse. You're only going to make it worse, and you'll be out for longer. So, yeah, even though you want to train mentally, just try and, sit at home and try and not to train.
What about training with DOMs?
Again, you got to listen to what your body, like I said, if you're injured, listen to your body, don't train. If you've got DOMs, listen to your body, don't train, because your body still needs to recover. However, if you do cool down properly, then your DOMs will be severe and you can train more frequently. And any others?
No, not for me.
Yeah,
No.
perfect, so we
I
cleared
can't
all that up.
think of anything.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
Enjoyed it?
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.